Tales of Symphonia with a cover that I had to print out because this was bought from GameStop. No manual, no cover, had that crappy whatever GameStop cover, so I printed one out and my printer sucked, so I got this really low quality ink thing. I mean, yeah, just compare Gamecube. I got this, I don't remember when, because I was really into expanding my Gamecube library, and I heard a lot of positive reviews about this game, so I gave it a try, and got about 2 hours into it. Of course, 2 hours for me and RPGs usually consists of me training non-stop just because I'm afraid of what's coming up, and I want to get used to combat systems, especially for ones that I've never even begun to play before. I'm trying to remember what I did. Like, I'm supposed to go to some cave, maybe? I don't know. I just kept battling this thing over, and these enemies over and over, and it just... I could have got more into the game, but once I get later into the list, you'll understand why I stopped playing. I mean, I can't say it's a bad game at all. I didn't really give it a try. And I might as well say this now, as I was saying earlier, that I have nothing against other game consoles. I don't think there's enough time, like, to play all the Nintendo games I want. So other game consoles and games, just, there wouldn't be anywhere near enough time to do anything. Like, I don't know how so many people play so many games and beat so many games. It's just unreal to me, because, like, I can spend days or like months on a single game, and then that's just like one game, and there's like 5,000 more that you want to play in just so little time. And right now, like, I'm not even, I mean, I'm kind of into games, but there's just so little time, and I just don't, I'm not into games like I have been. So that's not why I stopped playing this, but that's why I stopped playing now. The reason I stopped playing this, yeah, I'll get into that once we come to that. What I'm trying to say is, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Mario Party 7. I inexplicably skipped Mario Party 6 and went right for this in 2005. I think I got Mario Party 5 in 2000. Yeah, I must have got my GameCube in 2003. I think that's how it went. Yeah, I got that in Mario Party 5, and then this in 2005. I didn't play this near as much as I played 5, but I kind of liked it better. I really liked the ancient Chinese board, I think. That was on this one, pretty sure. I don't remember any of the mini games. Just, I remember the microphone that came with it, but don't remember this one really. Pokemon Colosseum, another game of my cousin's that I ended up with. Well, I'm an immense Pokemon fan, but this must have just came out at a time when I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Was getting big, and I was kind of getting out of Pokemon. It must have been after Ruby and Sapphire were released. I don't know about Fire Red and Leaf Green, but because I was into them, but for some reason I wasn't into this. I don't know why. Because it's just, I did play this, and I mean, it's awesome. It's a console RPG. It's like all anyone any true fan would ever want, but I couldn't get into it at the time, and now it's, you know, I'm not into games, so I can't appreciate it, but man, I really like this one and this one, which I did play because it was given to me as a gift. I remember at the time Heart Gold and Soul Silver weren't out yet, so there was no way to obtain Lugia without this game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there were some events you could get him at, but other than that, there was no way to get Lugia, and he's like one of my favorite Pokemon, so I remember just like rushing through this game just so I could get a Lugia and send him to whatever, Pearl or Platinum, whatever the game was at the time. I did the box things, so I set it all up as soon as I got Lugia. Just what I do, yeah, I must use a Master Ball on him, and as soon as I beat the guy, which was way harder than I expected. Like they want you to battle Lugia and then the guy who I don't remember how powerful he is, but I remember thinking, wow, if you're supposed to battle Lugia and this guy, maybe it was 2 or 3, I don't know. I just remember thinking, wow, that's a lot they expect. Maybe they expect you to use your Master Ball on Lugia, I don't know. But anyway, that's what I did, and I got the purification thing right away, sent him over, was so excited. I finally got Lugia, and then Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, so didn't really have any reason to ever play this again, but it's an amazing game. I remember when I played Tales of Symphonia briefly, it reminded me of this game and made me want to play it, though that's not why I stopped playing Tales of Symphonia. Yeah, this was just an amazing Pokemon game. This one might be better, I don't know, I didn't really play through that. I don't think Groudon and Kyogre are in the game, Colosseum. And I don't believe the dogs are either. So, that's neither here nor there. They might be in the game, I don't know, I don't really play it, but I know Lugia's in this one, which makes it superior in my book. Okay, now we're coming down to the final few. Melee. Again, this was at one point my cousin's copy. Then eventually he left to me. At the time, when it first came out, I was a Kirby fan, Kirby player, I guess. Eventually switched to Marth, then Sheik, then to Mario, and who else was in the game? Young Link. I don't know, I just played this game so much and I had so much fun with it, but I do prefer Brawl now, definitely. Once I got Brawl, I'm like, why does this seem so different? Why do I suck at it? Because I imagined you can use, since you could use the Gamecube controller, it would just be a breeze, but the combat was so different that it took a while to get used to, but I definitely prefer that now to this. But at the time, this was just, like, if you owned a Gamecube and didn't own this game, you were, you might as well just stop. I don't know what you should stop, but this is where it was at. Super Mario Sunshine, another game that I had to print out a cover for because this was a GameStop bought game much later, like 2011. I never actually played this. I got it expecting to, enjoy it thoroughly. I never played or even, owned or even played Mario 64 when it was originally on the 64, only on the GameCube, or not GameCube, the Wii Virtual Console. and I couldn't really get into it, but I could definitely see why other people could. So I figured I'd give this a shot, but I never got around to playing it, and now I'm not into gaming anymore, so I doubt I ever will. But from what I see on the internet and see what other people have to say about it, I gotta say it's pretty good. Too bad I probably never get around to playing it. Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. Now I got to one of my 3 favorite game series of all time. The other, I forgot to mention, maybe I mentioned it, Pokemon. That's either 1, 2, or 3. This is also 1, 2, or 3. Probably not 1 though. I never played the non-Twin Snakes version for the original PlayStation, even though I had a PlayStation. I didn't really think I would get into this, but because I liked fighting games and RPGs to some extent, and you know, action games. I didn't think I would really like this kind of shooter dark stuff, but in about 2011 I figured I'd give it a try, and my gosh did it captivate me to no end. Just the snow, the Alaskan themes, it was just such an amazing experience. I hear a lot of people complain about this game, just say it's so inferior to the original. I mean, how dare they make you able to see what you're shooting at? Like, in the cutscenes, I mean, just wow. Why do they make Snake have facial expressions? That's just totally uncalled for. Obviously sarcastic, but you know, that's how it goes. A lot of people hate this game, and I have no idea why. It is amazing, even though I'm pretty bad at it. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel like the controls were optimal, but when I look at footage of the original Metal Gear Solid, it looks like the controls are also tanky, so this is, you know, an amazing game in my opinion. I don't know why it gets all the hate it gets. Only 3 more left. Now we come to the other one of the 3, Zelda, 4 Swords Adventures. I remember seeing commercials for 4 Swords for the Game Boy Advance and getting so excited for it because I was inexplicably a Zelda fan after getting my Gamecube. So I'm like, man, I gotta get this for Game Boy Advance, but it slipped my mind that I had recently lent my Game Boy Advance to someone and didn't get it back until like a week after I got 4 Swords. And once I got 4 Swords, I think that was compatible with the GameCube or something, like maybe that was this one. Yeah, that must have been this one, because yeah, it is this one. I must have never experimented with the GBA version of this, but this came out and I played it with my cousin, and he's not really a big Zelda fan, so this didn't really work too well. And the one player mode I just couldn't get into compared to, because I liked it, but I was pretty bad at Zelda games. Well, all games really, back whenever 2003, 4. So yeah, I didn't really play this one a whole lot. Just I tried it and it faded away. Now we come to probably my favorite game for the GameCube, the Wind Waker, Player's Choice and bestseller. Got this from GameStop in 2010 as a Christmas present to myself. Started playing Christmas Day, and it just gives me nostalgia to a few years ago, which every Christmas I think about the first time playing this. And even though I had technically played it before, just at that time, because not sure if I mentioned this, but I stopped playing games in 2005, and then came back at around 2010, and this time I was actually good at Zelda games, and I played this, and man, it's just phenomenal in my opinion. Like, the best game for Gamecube, hands down, in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably, I mean, you gotta get into it, just like a lot of games. You can definitely see why it's people's favorite, such as my own. It's just, I mean, the graphic style admittedly isn't my favorite, but honestly, I don't even care about the graphics, because this is just such an amazing game. I even like the sailing, and a lot of people complain about that, and that is a legitimate point, not the graphics that people complain about, but the sailing, I mean, I'll admit is a legitimate point to complain about, but I mean, I like it, which is really weird, but yeah, this is just my favorite game for Gamecube, and it's totally awesome. I might do a review on that just by its own, because I could talk about that for, you know, ages. Now we come to the last game I can find for Gamecube. The Zelda Collector's Edition promotional disc includes 4 classic games: Zelda 1, 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Now, how to explain this in the shortest amount of time possible. Back in the N64 days, my cousin had a Majora's Mask, her N64, and brought it over frequently to play it, and he couldn't progress. We didn't know what to do, and he wasn't into it. And I remember thinking, you know, if he's not into it, I certainly can't get into it. So when this came out, I got this and I think Spider-Man at the same time, and maybe even something else. It probably, if I had a few games to choose from. I remember thinking, oh man, well, I'll try this. Tried Zelda 1, died in like 5 seconds. Tried Zelda 2, died in like 5 seconds, so it was down to these. I remember thinking, well, Majora's Mask, he was into that, so I'll get into this one, Ocarina of Time. And at the time I had no internet and no way of knowing what a phenomenal game this was. I just had this, and I knew about Majora's Mask, but had never heard about Ocarina of Time, which is way, it had much more exposure and a lot more people like it than Majora's Mask. And before I forget, this is what I was talking about when I said I played Wind Waker before. There's a 20-minute demo where you could play Wind Waker. But as I was saying, I chose Ocarina of Time because he tried Majora's Mask and said it was too hard or something, so I figured, oh, well, I'll do this. And gradually I've made progress in this, and it just seemed to take forever. I would so often have to have him get on the internet and tell me what to do next. And right around 2005, I'd only gotten to the Fire Temple. From 2003 to 2005, I progressed to the Fire Temple. And then I stopped playing games for about 5 years. And came back to it, and with a little help from the internet, went through the rest of the game. Was thoroughly impressed, then played it again, was even more impressed, and played it again, played it again, played it again, and it's like probably my favorite game of all time now, along with many other people. This is really, Ocarina of Time, the only thing I play on this disc, even though it has 3 other games. As I say, the first 2 are just way too hard in my opinion, and Majora's Mask, I can't get into that. I can probably get its own video about that. I think I just said that. I might edit that out though, I don't know. Just seeing this title screen, the music and the memories, it's just so awesome. This is, well, this is my favorite GameCube game, but this is definitely the most nostalgic. I mean, looking at this cover, it's just amazing, even though it's not, well, that cover isn't really good either, but like, this is something you'd expect from a game, or that, but this, I mean, this is just Zelda, that's it, and the Triforce and the Master Sword. But it's just, oh, looking at this just makes me want to play it right now, even though I'm not into games like I should be. Just, that's how powerful it is. It'll forever be like the most beloved game ever. So that's part one. This took way longer than I expected. I shall continue this.